The lifestyle and the music are tethered together.
Everything starts with the leader. I'm a good leader, so I got good people that follow.
We also have to worry about Layden every 5 minutes. You know, like the boogeyman is coming. Layden's a boogeyman. He gonna come.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love BMF, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we'll be talking about the BMF documentary, Blowing Money Fast, episode 1 through 3. This is just my quick review of what we've seen so far throughout the show. Now I'm not going to go over all the details like I told you guys. Just a quick review of what we've seen. Y'all let me know how y'all been feeling about this documentary. I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, these episodes ain't really that long. I believe they're around 26, 27 minutes. And I believe we're getting about 8 episodes for this documentary. But the documentary is actually really good in my opinion. It's just like when I'm watching it, the episodes be ending so fast. I'm be like, man, like, damn, I just start watching it. But they get real good, especially as you continue to watch it. And I do like how they broke it down on how everything started and how things was going on in Detroit before the boys was even born. And we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, you guys, make sure you checked out my last BMF video. We talked about BMF Season 2 exclusive picks with Young Miami and Jalen Rose joining the BMF universe. Of course, with a lot of other characters. And we went into more detail in that video. So check it out if you have not seen it. But let's talk about the topic of discussion, the BMF documentary, Blowing Money Fast, episodes 1 through 3. Now, going into the documentary, I really like how they showed us the history of Detroit and how everything was going well for the city at first. But then everything started to change. We saw that. We saw the riots. We saw, of course, GM started to fail. You know, the white folks, they started to move. And, of course, the drugs started to come in. And the city was really going downhill. And it made a huge effect on everybody. So, of course, a lot of people turned to selling drugs to make ends meet. We learned a lot about Charles, which we knew from the show. They showed us a lot about, you know, the Pops and how he really loved music. I like seeing that as well. But we saw in the documentary, we saw was more issues within the marriage. So I believe in season 2 of BMF, we're going to probably see more of the struggles between the marriage. And I'm pretty sure we will see the divorce in season 2. Now, I really liked how they showed us, you know, E.D. Boyd, who we know in the show is Pat. So a lot of the characters that we saw in the documentary, if you paid attention, you can tell which characters that they used for the show that they was based off of, right? So we knew who E.D. Boyd was. He helped take care of Meech and Terry. You know, that's the first dude that they was working for. We learned that in the show, and it's good to actually see him in the documentary talking about how everything came together between all of them, right? We saw also Layton, which we know is Lamar, which they say, from what I've been hearing, Lamar is supposed to be based off numerous of characters. But of course, if you're watching the documentary, it's easy to tell that this Layton character inspired Lamar from what we saw in the show, at least piece of him. But we know in the show, Lamar gets shot and they say he did not make it. In real life, Layton gets shot and he makes it. And he comes back seeking revenge because his brother gets shot and dies. So he is trying to seek revenge forever, trying to, you know, get back at Meech. And which we saw in the documentary, he does get back at him, shoots up the car, shoots Meech. And then we see, you know, Meech leave, which we're going to see in season 2. We know Meech will go to Atlanta. He will meet Monique's character, Goldie, a strip club owner. And one thing we have to remember is the TV show is not going to be 100% like the real life story. This is why they give us that warning on each episode. They pretty much telling us that not everything is true, but the majority of the things that you're seeing is, right? So that's why certain things and certain characters' names and certain storylines are a little bit different from what happened in real life. So like I told y'all, watching the documentary does make it very interesting to see how things really played out versus on how things played out in the show. Now, of course, we know Meech leaves, he goes to Atlanta. He learns a lot about culture down there. You know, of course, Atlanta, black people, they striving, they doing their thing, making a lot of money, got houses. You know, of course, the Olympics, they get the bid to go to Atlanta, and we see the police raids. They trying to make sure that everything is good for the Olympics. So everything is pretty much dry. So Meech is like, screw all that. It's time to go to California. So we started to see that California expansion. So the documentary is actually moving quite fast. You know what I'm saying? They showing you how everything is going. Even though the show was only like 26, 27 minutes, they going through a lot of information. It's a lot of people that Meech is meeting in Atlanta. He does meet Little Meech's mother in Atlanta. And also, your boy Meech is like, look, even though he left Detroit, he did not want to press charges on Layton at all. That wasn't something that he wanted to do, and he didn't do it. But he still made sure that his family was good. He had people watch his mom. We know Terry was still in Detroit running the operation there, and everything was good for a little bit, right? I mean, the money was coming in, and like I told y'all, I got dry in Atlanta, and that's when we saw the California, connection. And of course, they did explain if you had that Miami connection, you can get a Kia cocaine for $18,000. And in Detroit, a Kia Coke was going for $36,000. So you do the math, you know what I'm saying? So if you can go down there, if you had that connect, you can easily flip your money just like that. But besides all that, they hit the California market, and then they started to expand. So in episode 3, we were seeing a lot of members join BMF, right? We're starting to see a lot of different people come in, and the whole idea of BMF is formed. So when you're watching the show in the very first season, we hear the BMF name, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you already knew this, but BMF, the name, was not even formed back then. You know what I'm saying? It took them a while before they actually came up with the BMF name. So like I told y'all, it is some differences between the real life story versus the TV show. And the idea pretty much came from what Meech was thinking. Like, look, it's a lot of different mafia families out there, the Italians, the Jewish, and many more. So why not have the black mafia family? So that's what they end up coming up with. I did like how they were showing us footage from the early 2000s with Jeezy and Blue Da Vinci and how things was going. Meech really took care of a lot of people. In the documentary, they end up telling us that Terry does come out to California. We knew this. If you follow the BMF story, we already knew Terry comes out there and he starts to help out with the operation. But Meech took care of a lot of people, and that's something that they wanted to put out there, because people believe that these guys are just coming in trying to kill people, sell drugs and all that. But in reality, they was taking care of a lot of people, man. A lot of people's families. Their whole operation was really about family and doing good, having Sunday dinner, talking everything out, and just sticking with each other. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really wasn't trying to do all that extra gangster type stuff. They just wanted to stick together and do what they had to do in the business. And by doing that, they actually helped out a lot of people. But we know when you get bigger, it's, bigger consequences. It's more money, it's more problems. So of course they started to, get their cars with hiding spots for the drugs and the money, right? And then once they came up with the BMF name, that's when the boys started to watch a little bit more. And we saw that. That's pretty much where episode 3 left off at, with law enforcement trying to find out who BMF is. Like I say, once you get bigger and you flashy and you doing a whole lot, people start to watch. And I really did like how they mentioned in this documentary that they was not trying to glorify selling drugs and stuff like that. They really just wanted to help out the family and the people that they love. That was it. They wasn't trying to really hurt nobody, but when you're a part of this lifestyle, things like that, they follow you. And that's what they mentioned in the documentary as well. I found it funny when they said that Meech wanted to run his operation like Costco. And y'all know how Costco is if y'all ever been to Costco's, but that's how he wanted to have his stuff, like a warehouse / super center. He was definitely thinking above his time. He was like, look, I gotta get it. I gotta outthink everybody. And we started to see the expansion across the whole country. And I cannot wait to see how they're going to play it out in the actual show. Now, it's a solid documentary. I think it's great. I can't wait to see the rest of it. As I told y'all, my only thing is it's like 26, 27 minutes, but the stuff that they're showing us is good information. We've seen a lot of different people come in and give their input on what was going down. I really liked how they brought in Meech's moms. We get to see the real, Miss Flannery. She came in and she, of course, told how things was going, back in the day as well. But y'all let me know, man. What do y'all think about this documentary? I know everybody is just waiting for BMF season 2. I know everybody wants to see it. It's coming. We still got to wait until January. But as of right now, we might as well watch the documentary and get any, type of info that we can get. That way, when season 2 does air, we got a little bit more intel on what's going on, especially this Atlanta storyline that's about to take place in season 2. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.